What's up, guys? Welcome to Spike's Weekend Pregame. I'm Julie, and that's Matt. And this weekend, prepare to have your minds blown.
And how exactly is somebody supposed to prepare for something like that, Julie?
Well, in this case, by forgetting everything you thought you knew about sci-fi movie making. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, this is Jim. I'm Sam.
Wait, I'm confused.
You answer all the hard questions about the thinking behind the movie, and I'll just do the glowering actor thing. Yeah.
I like this experiment.
Jim, the notion of the Avatar, which Sigourney Weaver in the film is actually in charge of, is one of the most interesting and crucial parts of the flick. So tell us a little bit about what it is to be an Avatar on Pandora.
When Sam's character shows up, and he gets to connect his consciousness to this Avatar body, he gets to walk, he gets to run, he gets to be a man again.
So now he's got not only the freedom to run and play, but
well,
also
he's always a warrior.
to
Even when he's sitting in the wheelchair,
yeah.
he's a warrior. He's got the warrior spirit. So he's not daunted by the idea of going to the most hostile planet ever discovered in a wheelchair. He's down with that. So he shows up, and they tell him, they tell him what the ropes are, and they teach him how to do this thing. And so he promptly goes straight out into the jungle, and winds up, getting chased by this critter and separated from his team, and he's on his own. He's having a really bad first day in the old Avatar program. Looks like he's got about 10 minutes to live. And then Neytiri shows up, which is, Zoe Saldana's character. And then everything changes. Basically, the whole world changes at that point.
I need your help.
And let's talk about these indigenous people, the Na'vi. Where did you get the inspiration?
Yeah, it's really a kind of a mashup of a bunch of different indigenous cultures, including Native Americans. There's some African in the language and in some of the body painting and in some of the beadwork and so on. Some of the customs are taken from some Amazon tribes. Just doing reading and research to make them interesting and plausible.
And they really have a really deep connection to the Earth and to each other. They seem to have a network.
That's right. That's right. They have this kind of global, it's almost like a bio-internet, if you could imagine that. And the trees are all connected and form this network. And they're able to essentially upload all their memories. It's pretty fascinating, and it's if you're interested in that idea, in those kind of mystical or spiritual ideas, that stuff's there as a kind of a subplot in the story. If you just want a good action adventure, kind of white knuckle action
ride, they know how to kick ass with bow and arrow. They don't muck around. They're not just there's spirituality and peace and love and all that because they care about their fellow man. But when push comes to shove, they tend to know how to kick ass.
You don't want to piss them off.
This is our land.
Now, did you see any of the CGI that was going to be put in after?
Jim built it, or helped design the camera. He built it in the backyard.
Yeah, personally.
And he can point it anywhere. Think of where we film, like a big empty grey basketball court. And we're in the middle of it wearing a Velcro wetsuit and weird helmet cam and you look like you're in Cirque du Soleil or something like that. And Jim can then point his camera anywhere in this space. If he points it up, you see floating mountains. If you point it on the ground, you see the terrain, basically grass, stream, whatever.
So not just wireframe.
No. And he points it at me, I'm big and blue.
It sort of looked like a video game reality. So it didn't look photoreal, but it could render in real time. See, the photoreal stuff that you see in the movie takes 50 hours per frame to render. What we're doing is a real-time render, so it's like being in a video game where, as you move your point of view around just with the controller, the scene changes.
When you fight, you fight. When you kiss, you kiss. When you roll around and jump from tree to tree, they build big things, and you're just a 9-year-old kid in Jim Cameron's play pit, as I call it.
The luckiest kid in the world.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I have the feeling that Jim put together a pretty exhaustive dossier on backstory to your character. What was it like to get into that world?
Jim's very detailed. Not only does he detail the world, he details the history and the mythology of the race.
But that's the fun part.
And that's the big thing about it. So the more details, the better.
Sam just throws himself in. He just throws himself in, just full tilt. Any idea I came up with or any idea he came up with, we could explore it. And that was the beauty of the virtual production, because we weren't bound by the set, we weren't bound by the sun kind of going down. down, and we got to get the shot right now. You know, we could beat a scene to death basically until both of us were satisfied.
Well, speaking of characters, Sam, you seem to be making a cottage industry almost of playing these hybrid humans. I mean, you're in Terminator, now Avatar. You're Perseus, right, in Clash of the Titans, who's Zeus's son. I mean,
half
what's
god,
the deal
half
with
man,
that?
half robot, half man, half alien, half man. You know, well,
Guess you're just half man and all.
I think there's something I'm struggling with, some duality I'm struggling with myself, obviously.
Next film, he's going to be half woman, half man.
It's a great role. I mean, anytime you get to play someone that has abilities far beyond what an average human has, it can let you take, you know, your role to the next level.
Yeah, man, I think you know, there's obviously something that some theme that resonates with me. I think it's, you know, that's how you can only do the barometer of what movies you want to join in, is whether I would pay $12 to go see them. Yeah.
He actually said that to a director who was offering him a huge part. He said, honestly, mate, why would I want to do a movie that I wouldn't want to see?
Yeah, I said I wouldn't.
Wow.
I didn't mean it arrogantly. I said I wouldn't see this, mate. So I'm wasting your time if we keep going. I'm sorry, but you know, all the best. You know, hopefully you find the right guy that way. And
I've got actually one last question that I think a lot of the guys out there might like to know the answer to, and this is a question for both of you. What would you rather have parked out back? The motorcycle from Terminator,
I have the motorcycle
Titanic,
Terminator parked out back, so
or the
I'm
Banshee?
disqualified.
Or the Banshee. If you had to pick between one of those three.
Go.
I like the fact that you got the Terminator bike out the back. I didn't
I'm
know
disqualified.
that. That's so cool.
Actually, I gave it to Arnold, but I had it for a few years.
Well, there you go. I'd rather have Arnold out the back on the Banshee. Now we got an attack thing.
I want a Banshee. I like flying.
There's one called a Leonoptrix, which is the biggest of the Banshees.
Yeah. The trick to it is you get the Leonoptrix, and then you can get anything else you want.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Well, guys, you saw what this man did with the Terminator and Titanic, so you know Avatar is going to take movie making to a whole nother level. Jim and Sam, thanks so much for coming on Weekend Pregame.
As for us, we'll see you next year. Until then, you have your pregame.
Game on!